probably runs all the way up because we're way up there.
Oh, I bet you it follows the river.
Yeah. James River Valley.
Good morning from day number 52. Last night was rough. I slept in the shelter again, but the mice were so active. And one scurried across by my head, and that's what initially woke me up. And then I heard rummaging around in my backpack that was hung up above my head. And I grabbed my headlamp, turned it on, and a mouse was in my side pocket. And as soon as I turned on the light, it ran up my shoulder strap and onto the wood and out. And I'm like, oh my God, seriously? You know, I don't want mouse poop in my pack, or worse, them to chew a hole in my pack. And there was nowhere else to hang it to keep them away from it. So I turn off the lamp, lay back down. Next thing you know, I hear my pack again. Fly back up, turn on the light, sound stops. I'm like, come on. So I ended up switching my head to the other side of the shelter, so that way my feet were toward the wall. And then I hear what sounded like the inside of my pack, the liner. So I grab my red light and my headlamp, turn on the red light, creep up to it, turn it on and put it inside my pack. There is this little tiny mouse staring up at me from inside my pack. It was so cute. And then it's moving around trying to figure out, how do I get out of here? And I'm looking at it and I'm talking to it. I'm like, little guy, do you need help getting out of there? But he figured it out eventually. But so that was pretty much my entire night, constantly getting up and down, trying to keep the mice away from my pack. Just because I was so afraid of him chewing a hole in it. Last night I even got cold too. I felt like it was colder last night than the night before, and this morning, same. But today's town day. So today will be easier. It's only 14.8, I think, miles in the town and less than 2,000 feet in elevation gain. So compared to yesterday, it's going to be a breeze. Catch up the trail. It's just fields of pretty flowers everywhere. These pretty ones. They're all over the place. I made it to the top of Highcock Knob. I'm starting to notice a pattern here. Anytime something's named with the word knob after it, it's a steep climb. Woo! Oh, but I think that's the hardest climb of today, and the rest should be fairly simple. That pooped me out. Oh my gosh. Alright, I'll keep heading out. I am completely turned off by the guy Charlie from Stanimals. So yesterday I told you guys how he texted me and said to let him know around what time I thought I'd be arriving to the trailhead so he could pick me up, and then just update him today and let him know a more accurate time. And yesterday I told him, I gave him a little bit later than I thought I would be, and I told him 12:30. And then he told me, well, I have a car arriving there at 1, so try to change your schedule. Well, I thought that was kind of, I don't know, the way he worded it was kind of just a little short. But I get it. You know, if I'm going to be there a half hour before somebody else is already scheduled to pick up, you know, why make 2 trips right around the same time? That's silly. So I totally understand. Well, I'm going to get there a lot earlier than I thought I would. So I tried to call him at the last spot I was going to have reception. He didn't answer his phone, which he didn't answer his phone last time I called either. So I texted him and told him I'm going to be there at the absolute latest by noon. Hopefully you can pick me up then, and told him I'm heading down the mountain now, so that way he'd know I was going to lose service. Well, I had service for a little bit coming down the mountain, and he ended up texting me back, and he just says, nope, the soonest I can get there is 1. Take a long lunch or hitch. Well, that was absolutely rude. Instead of saying, unfortunately I can't do that, I have another shuttle or whatever, but, saying I'm sorry, but, I can't get there till 1. But then my question goes to say, if you couldn't get there till 1 o'clock no matter what, then why did you ask me yesterday what time I needed to be picked up if the only time you could get me was 1 o'clock? You could have just texted me back when we confirmed the bunk and said, I'm picking up at 1 o'clock. You need to be there by then. Could have told me that. So I'm really confused. But that actually really turned me off about kind of how rude he was in the text. Just, nope. Take a late lunch or hitch. Well, so, to be honest with you, I'm not sure I'm going to stay there now. I might, since I got to hitch in, as long as I can get a hitch, I might just go in there, pay the $5 to pick up my package, because they charge you if you don't stay there, and go head to the town shelter and stay there, because they supposedly have power and hot showers and all that there. So, I don't know. I'll figure it out when I get down there, but ugh.
And it became like this cooperative to use a hippie, it's like they introduced money to a population.
We are walking along the James River right now. This is so cool. Made it to the James River footbridge. This is actually the longest one on the entire Appalachian Trail. I'm excited! Well, I made it into the town, and I believe I've been saying the town wrong this whole time. I believe it's Glasgow, not Glasgow, so forgive me. Very small town, and I definitely was not staying at Stanimals after the interaction I just had with the owner. So I will explain that story when I get settled. Sorry. But right now I am on my way to Scotto's, which is right up there, to get some food. I can't wait, I'm so hungry. We have a chicken parmigiana sub. That looks so good. Here they are, guys, the new shoes. These things got major cushion. I'm gonna try them on and see how they work. So there's the restaurant that I ate at. And here's the grocery store. And the Dollar General is behind there where I got some other stuff. Not too great of selections at these places. The Dollar General, you could clearly see that all the hikers have been there because all the tuna packs were gone. All the like ramen and everything that hikers would get were pretty much gone. And then this store just didn't have very big selection. But now I'm heading over to the shelter area. I'm gonna show you the shelter area. You got bunks and looks like outlets, picnic tables, and there's an outdoor shower and a privy, and it's right behind the restaurant. Alright, so let me explain what happened. So Crocs and I, another hiker, were trying to hitch in the town after that little exchange I had with the guy, and he, was like, I'm not coming till 1. But Crocs had talked to a couple other hikers that were waiting in this parking lot, and they told him that they were being picked up at 11:45 by the same guy. this same guy who told me absolutely not, couldn't pick me up until 1 o'clock and hitch. So I was a little irritated. Then, so we're trying to hitch in, nobody's picking us up. Then all of a sudden we see what we think is this Charlie guy. And he goes and he picks up the other hikers. And then he comes back, swings by to us, and he goes, $5 for a lift into town. Well, we took it. And then on the ride there, he didn't even realize who I was. And on the ride there, we get dropped off. And then, sorry, I'm getting my story confused here. Then him and I and another hiker go to this his hostel because I had my shoes there, where everybody else got dropped off at the restaurant in town. And as we're on their way there, the other guy asked me how I got my name. Well, as soon as I said my trail name, that's when Charlie realized who I was. He goes, "Oh, wait, you're Spotter?" I said, "Yeah." And he's kind of confused. And I said, "Well, I was supposed to be staying with you tonight." He said, "But plans have changed." He goes, "Well, that's bad." I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, because I've been telling other hikers that we're booked for tonight." And he said, "That's really inconsiderate of you." You know what, guys? I'm sorry. If he didn't have my shoes, my package, I wouldn't have bit my tongue. But instead I told him, I said, "Well, I tried to call you. You didn't answer your phone. So I texted you, and by the time you texted me back, I was losing service." And I said, "So, you know, what can you do?" But I really wanted to say, inconsiderate of me. You're the one who was rude in the text message, and you're also the person who told me that you absolutely couldn't pick me up until 1 o'clock. Yet, for two guys that were waiting there, you were picking them up at 11:45, and then you managed to swing by and pick up two random people off the trail that you didn't know was me. And so the whole thing was just off. And I definitely, after that, I was like, I'm definitely not staying with this guy. So I'm going to stay at this free shelter, but we're trying to now figure out how we're going to get back to the trail. Because it doesn't seem like this town has much of anything, let alone shuttle drivers. And I really don't want to pay this not so nice guy to shuttle us back. I already paid him once, so. Alright, Crocs is here, so I'm going to get my stuff set up, and I will talk to you guys later. Oh, come on, show your blue belly again. Oh, he's so cool. Mountain laurels! Alright, so if you are wondering why I'm back in the woods, we decided that we weren't going to stay in the town, and we got a ride from this lady, Marty, and her dog and her mother, and we got back to the trail, and then we hiked 1.7, I believe it was, up to the next shelter, and now I have my tent set up, and yes, I'm actually going to stay in my tent, because after last night with the mice, I kind of need a reprieve. So it was good, though. Got to eat town food, and resupply was not that great there, unfortunately, but I still got enough to get me to Waynesboro, so I cannot believe we're getting so close to Shenandoahs. It's so exciting. But I will talk to you guys in the morning.